You gotta be smarter than the equipment you buy.
All right. Was you listening to it?
Yeah.
There
Got
we
it.
go. Okay.
Gotta be smarter than the equipment you buy. There's about a 10-second delay.
Oh,
If I
okay.
say something bad, we can shut it off.
All right, my name is Steve Kelly. My wife Narenda. We're gonna be talking about 4 apps from a landlord's perspective. So it's from a landlord's perspective, and some other people are gonna come up and talk about some other things. Landlords, raise your hands. Whoever has buy and hold, they're renting out. Raise your hands. All right. What are some apps that you guys use for your? Just 1 or 2 apps you guys use for your business?
Zillow.
Okay.
All right, that's cool. It's nice.
Awesome.
It's a nice. Nice amount. Nice variety. Spot crime. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a crime in the area. Okay, you've used that before.
I've used that. Yeah.
Say it again.
Craigslist.
Craigslist. Okay. All right, you went back, but yeah, that's cool. It still works. That's good.
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
Use
Yeah.
that one. Turbo Tenant.
Turbo
Yes.
10. That's you use. That's how you collect your rents.
Okay.
No, I don't use it to collect rents.
You just use it. Yes.
Okay.
Organization.
Yes.
How do you collect your rents?
I do ACH to my bank.
That's
Okay.
right. I remember you saying that in
Direct
the landlord
deposit.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. We're gonna be talking about YouTube, how we use YouTube, Adobe Scan, and apartments.com. Oh, and Stessa. All right. So you can go to the first one, Stu. My wife's gonna be doing most of the talking. She's better at this than I am.
Perhaps. So you should be able to hit the
Down.
space bar.
Let me do this here. Hang on a second. 'Cause here's what's
Well,
happening.
you got to go to present.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here.
There you go. And just see.
See, there's where, because it came in as a
PDF.
it's a
You know
PDF.
how to get it there.
Hit the space bar.
Try that or try to there you
Down
go.
arrow.
Yep, there you
down
go.
arrow.
Okay, so it depends on the computer.
Sorry, guys, I told you.
Right.
If I do a math in public,
Right.
no laugh.
Technology depends on the system that you're working on. So,
We'll have fun doing it.
all right. So as Stu said, we want to go from doing this, loads and loads of paperwork, to doing this, where you're just pushing a button on your computer or pushing a button on your phone. Go ahead. Next slide. And if y'all can't hear me, just raise your hand in the back because I'm trying not to talk into the mic too much. Okay.
And that'll pick you up real good. You don't even have to just forget it's there.
Okay. I'm gonna move it up.
That's only for the streaming. It doesn't mic.
Oh, does it? Okay, so I'll just talk loud. All right, so with apartments.com, that's where we're going to start because that's what we use for most of our transactions. And apartments.com is where our tenants also go to pay us for free. So why we like it, apartments.com sends email notifications for payments that are made by our tenants. So like last week we were in San Antonio and we got ding, 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 your payment has been made, payment has been made, payment has been made. So that's kind of nice. Applications received. So whenever we do market our property, if we receive an application, we will get an email notification for that. Maintenance requests. We do require our tenants to go on apartments.com and submit their maintenance requests to us, and then we respond to them in kind through that. So everything is kept in one place. Late fees are applied automatically. We are not the bad guy. Apartments.com did it. Just saying.
It sends it out at 12:01,
Yes.
but we don't have any late tenants. Well, yeah.
We have one. Yeah, one. But we're training him. Lease ending date. It will also give you that because you will put that information in. So we'll give you a notification that your lease is about to end for tenant X, Y, or Z.
Nice.
You have something else?
No, you good?
Okay. So we just went through the apartments.com app and we kind of like show you some of what the interface looks like. And so we start with the property listing, and that's the first thing that you would have to do once you set up your account is you go in, you put your property in, how many rooms, how many units, whatever is in there, a description of your property,
The photos.
photos, of course, for each room. And then you could also market it right from apartments.com. Okay. And so this is just some of our properties. And then, you know, we put a dummy property up there that we'll kind of like feed off of today. And you can go to the next one. All right. So under rental tools, you're going to see applications, residence, leases, payments, expenses, maintenance reports, etc. So first thing we do is we invite a tenant to apply. So that way we get the application generated. If we don't have it just already listed, we can send an individual link out and say, hey, we got a property coming up. We want to give you first dibs on it. Go ahead and apply. We're not open up to the public. And so we would send them that link and they could apply directly from that link. Okay. Our residents and leases. So once we've selected that tenant, now we go ahead and send them the link again to apartments.com. We tell them to go ahead and get set up, because now they're going to go in and we're going to put in all their information from their application. We're going to upload their lease where it says upload. If you over on the sides here, you can say it, ask us if they didn't accept your invite, it'll give us a reminder. You want to send them a reminder, and we'll send them a reminder. Hey, you didn't accept the invite yet. You need to go set your account up, because now, again, this is where you're making your payments. We're not running around collecting your money.
And also when we upload their leases, so they don't have to ask us for their lease. It's already there. Don't call me for your lease. It's in the app. Go pull it down, print it out, whatever you need to do. When you have renter's insurance, you put all that information in there as well. If you got renter's insurance, if you make sure you just put that in there. All the info you have, put it in there. They have access to it as well.
Okay.
Is that the tenant screening?
Yes.
It does. It does.
And it's free. All these are free apps that we're telling you about as well.
Right. It's free to us. Okay, so it does the screening. So the tenant will pay the $30 or whatever it is to apartments.com for the application fee from them, and they will send us the credit report and the background history. Yeah. We still do all the other stuff behind that, but yes, we'll get all that information directly from apartments.com. Mm-hmm. So again, we're not the bad guy. We're not taking your money. You're paying them.
Is that your last slide?
Nope.
No.
You may be frozen. Possibly, maybe. If
Oh, you know what? I bet I know what it is. Let me see.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's
All right, let me see what I can do.
So while Stu is trying to make technology do what we do, we will just like hit on the payments, which will be the next slide. There it was.
Go back.
Yeah, right there. All right. So the payments. So the tenants, once they set up the thing, again, they have the option to set up their payments. They can set it up with their bank account direct to apartments.com, or they can use a credit or debit card. If they use a credit or debit card, they will get charged like a $2 or whatever it is percentage fee for using that card. But if they set it up from their bank account, it's, they can set up to pay, make as many payments as they want. And there's no charge. So let's say they get paid every week, they can set it to make that $1,300 payment or whatever their rent is, and it will go directly to us. And so it really works with the tenant as well, because it helps, but it also gives them flexibility. Like I know I get, if I wait to the end of the month, all my money gonna be gone. So
yeah, even like last month, we had a couple of tenants paid by the 17th. They paid the full rent by the 17th. You can do it. I don't care how you pay it. I always tell my tenants also, when you're ready to leave us and go somewhere else, you can just take your rent roll to show that you pay your rent on time and take it to the next landlord. You don't have to ask me for a rent roll or anything like this. So everything's at your fingertips. And if you pay late, this will show it. If you pay on time, you can show it. And you ask us, and we don't know you're leaving until you send us the thing. So it works in your favor. When you tell them like that, they really want, then they take more ownership of it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so you can see, I'd say even on this screen, you can see, I have a current, this is a dummy account because it's on me, but current balance is $2,300. The rent is $1,250. Transactions, the number of payers, your settings, your history, I can go in and see that. The automatic late fee, you can see that right there where it says $125 5 days after the rent is due, which we say close out at a.m.
And if you choose to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you have any voucher tenants in your system?
Yes, we do. We're going to get to that next. So yes.
And also if for some reason you go into court or some reason you got to stop the payments, you can enable their payments too, so they can't make payments here. So you can just stop and make it through that app too.
Yes.
That's if you choose to.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Next one.
Oh, no.
Go back. So I'm gonna hit on your question. Okay. So, okay. Yes. So with that, this is going to answer your question. So with our voucher tenants, what we will do is if they have a portion that they have to pay, let's say it's $50, whatever, they will still make their payment through the portal. And then with the add a credit, add a payment or record a payment, we will go in and we will enter the payment that we receive from the state for their payment. So that's how that works.
And this one?
That's a recorded.
Thing?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And like I said, add a credit, and that might also be that we decided to give them a discount for this month because it's their 1 year anniversary or whatever. So we might give them a credit to their account and for $50 or whatever, something like that.
We don't
So
do
we
that, but we can.
We can.
So I only do that.
Right. So you can add a credit there for any particular reason. We do have one tenant, we give them a $50 credit just because they gave us a referral to the property. And so that will be ending soon, but we did give them a credit so that comes off of their balance. So it does allow you, like I said, a lot of flexibility and control of what you're doing just from one app.
Also, if you broke something, it was their negligence, I can just call somebody in there to fix it and I'll pay the guy and I will add a payment to them, and they can't pay the next month's credit until when they put that money on, it pays that bill first, the rent. So you now for your money, you can't pay it until you pay that. You can't pay your rent.
Right. So that's the add a bill button that's up there first. So so everything again is coming from well, you've seen the building and they sent you an email note there. So okay, now we're ready for the next one. If the computer is ready. Yes.
Do you instantly get your, is there a waiting period?
It's a waiting period for 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I keep enough reserves. I don't really worry about that. But people do. I mean, but yeah, it comes 3 to 5 days. But most of our tenants pay ahead of time early because we have young tenants like 20 years old, so they pay bi-weekly.
Okay.
So
What was the question?
what was the question? I just answered the question. I don't know what it was. I have no idea what just happened.
She asked, do you have a delay in payment or do you get your payment directly immediately as soon as they make it? And the answer is that there is a delay between it receiving by apartments.com and it being deposited into our bank. There's like a 3 to 5 day waiting period that we receive it.
Another question for you.
Yes.
If you have it where you have to do a RUBS or a bill back for utilities, does that support it?
You add a bill.
You got a bill?
Yeah. Yeah, that's because we had to do that one time. We just go in there, add a bill, adds it right into their account. That's what the amount they owe. If they owe $1,200 and the bill was $81, they now owe $1,281. That's their balance.
So is that something you add in every time, or can you set it up repetitively?
We can set it up
You
repetitively.
can?
Thank you.
I believe so. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But you have apartment buildings. I don't know how it stands. So because you have apartment building, I don't know if you can do 30 properties like that. So I don't really know. So you would have to check on that. Vincent?
Yeah, you mentioned it was free, so apartments.com, they don't charge a service fee for anything?
Nah.
Version that we have, we use the free version because there are certain products that we don't, or features that we don't utilize. So the pro version, and I can't remember how much that one is, but the free version, you can do all the things that we're showing you right now. The pro version gives you a little bit more functionality of some other things. Like I said, it might allow you to do apartments and things like that, but we don't, as of right now with our properties, we don't have a need to use it. So.
And we have 9 properties. So,
yeah.
And that we take them all through there.
What is this? Oh, maintenance requests. So, with our maintenance requests, once again, the tenant has through their email, they know it. They log into the apartments.com account and they say, hey, the grass hasn't been cut in 3 weeks. We need something done about that. Or the plumbing is having an issue. Or
like this past week, we had a hot water heater go out. So she sent me a notice. Or if sometimes it's an older lady, we'll input it for her. She texts us and we'll just input it.
Right.
And we'll go from there. Go ahead.
Right. Nope, that's fine. And so, yeah, they put it in there and then we can, again, correspond with them through the app. So we don't actually have to text them, although we do both. We say, hey, go put that in apartments.com, but we can respond to them within the app. And then once the issue has been cleared, we can also add photos and videos as well of proof that the thing has been done. And oftentimes we'll ask them to send us photos or videos or whatever of the issue so we can know just who to send out to fix it. All that can be stored and uploaded here. And then once the issue has been completed, we can close the issue from here, and it'll say this issue has now been closed, and it'll send the tenant a message saying the issue has been fixed and we're closing this issue. However, with the last one that Steve mentioned, the lady says, hey, no, it started leaking again. So we had to reopen the issue again through the app, send Plumber back out, and then reclose it again, which we'll do when we get home tonight.
Yeah, and it keeps a log of everything. Whether I'm not giving you a receipt, your receipts in the app. I'm not keeping your information. I'm not logging this information out. It's everything's inside the app. You have access. I have access. The tenant has access to all the information. So it takes away a lot of your extra legwork.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
We're going to get to that. So these are some of the reports that can be done on apartments.com. We do not use them, but you can. So if you want to, and you would in your expenses, you would enter your expenses here in addition to your income, which is coming from your tenants. If you entered your expenses here, you can pull these financial reports with your income statement, expenses, transactions, 1099 forms, the whole works. So you actually could use this one app to do all of that, which may also come with some of your additional paid features as well. But again, we have a different app that we use for that we found first or afterward that we actually really like. So we just do all of our tenant stuff here, and we use a different app for all of our financial stuff.
So to use the expenses tracker and stuff like that, does it cost? Like, is that included in the free version?
That's included in the free version, but we keep our expenses in Stessa because it's more detailed, and that's the app we're going to talk about next as far as just tracking expenses.
So you like the Stessa better for that?
Yes, because you can just move stuff around and the log of everything. It's easier for me.
Yeah, we're gonna say we like it better because we've never used this one. So
no, I went in there and tried it. They don't have all the different categories and stuff like that.
Right.
Your income statement on this one, is that per property or
Per property.
Per property.
Each property.
Mm-hmm.
So you get it's expenses and
Right.
everything for each. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, and next box. Ooh,
Oh, you want to go back?
Yeah, go back one.
Did I hit it too fast?
Yes,
Sorry.
it should be
I'm
the
just happy that
inbox.
it's working.
Yes, should be one more
It's a
slide.
help center, right?
Should be inbox. Oh, no, mind. Inbox is over here. Never mind, I didn't see it. So this is just an example of what the inbox looks like. And the tenant, again, wouldn't have access to everybody's information because this is all of the maintenance requests for all properties. But we could sort it so it would only show maintenance requests for one property or what have you. But right now, this will be all the maintenance requests that we've had for all of our properties would be here. So we can access, as he said, there's a log and we can go in and see all of that.
Do you have to go and check that all the time, or do you get an email?
Oh, yeah, they send an email to you.
Okay.
When they send the payments, an email comes to us.
Mhm.
And the maintenance request email
Email
comes
comes
to
to
you.
us.
So yeah,
Come in text as well.
It does not
no,
get the
does
text,
not
but
come
it's
text.
email.
You don't get everything, Jason.
Right. Yeah. This one just email. Yeah, I think I prefer to this email as opposed to text with all of this stuff anyway. So, but we do use text for some stuff. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Thank you. And so just finishing up with apartments.com, they do have a help center. We have emailed them a couple times when we've had issues with tenants being able to make payments or connect or what have you. And we've actually been pretty good with getting responses from them via email. But as a renter, they can also go in and find information. If they have questions, oftentimes they won't, but I've gone in and screenshotted. It says how to make this payment or how to set up the thing. I've screenshotted and then attached it to the email and sent it to them and said, and then also with the link like, hey, you can go to the, app and renter center and find out more information. But even just for managing the rentals, pretty much any question you have, if you type it in, there's a response on how to fix it.
And our tenants are from age 19 to
85?
like 85, 88. So even the 88-year-old one was set up on it. And
Yes, she responded back to the maintenance request when we said it was fixed. She says, no, it ain't.
But-
So,
but also
just
she
user
paid,
friendly.
we set up, she don't go every month and pay. We set it up where it's automatically paid for her. And we went and did it for her so she doesn't have to worry about it. And she likes not having to worry about taking money to the bank because, she's
Right.
not
85
always
years old.
mobile like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions for this one?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we're going to go to the next app. Nope.
Can I ask you real quick, where do you, it's kind of off topic, I don't know if it's off topic or not. Where do you advertise to get people to come in and give you your applications? And
You can just make it. You can just make, right there. You just activate the listing.
Is that the only place you advertise?
Oh, no.
Is with,
Well, no, we go through Zillow, we go through Facebook
Marketplace.
Marketplace. All depends on where my properties are.
Yep.
Like back down here, I like to use Zillow and then Facebook Marketplace. Back in the country where I have my properties, they use apartments.com and Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what I used to do. All depends on where you are.
Right. You have to know your market.
Does it feed from there to Zillow, or you have to do that separately?
We do it
Separate.
separately.
They feed to somebody else. I can't remember who their
That's
connection is.
Trulia
yeah.
and somebody
Mhm.
else. So yeah.
Zillow feeds that.
Yeah.
Apartments.com goes with somebody. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's realtor.com or whoever, but I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah. They have several others that they feed to.
Yeah.
So you just do your Zillow separate?
Yes.
Yeah. Because Zillow, I may not want to pay $10 because I know I can rent this property, or $10 per week. I know I can rent this property. So
Mhm.
it all depends.
Okay.
We can have a discussion on that one here in a minute. 'Cause
Yep.
I get a little frustrated when I list a house, so help me fix that.
Okay.
But I don't want to stop you.
That's fine. So this is Steve's favorite app, which is Stessa, which is Assets Backward. And Stessa, the reason we like it is because all of our tax forms can be compiled in one place. So Stessa is actually where we upload all of our receipts. We can either take a picture, upload it, or we can scan them. And that's like Home Depot, Roto-Rooter, Buffet Star, whatever, your receipts. You just scan them, upload, and then just, enter whatever information you need to enter. It allows you to track your income and expenses. You can view your loan to property values, view and print rent rolls, and track net cash flow and month-to-month expense via category. Okay, so you can go to the next one. So this is just an example of some of what looks like in the Stessa platform. This will be your transaction screen. So that's what you would click on to begin your expense or your income. So we put both of them in here. Once we put in the name of the payer or payee, I don't know, Home Depot, the amount, $250, we choose the property. If it's a general expense, say like education or whatever, and we're not attaching it to a certain property, we may just put it to our business, legacy, life investments or whatever. And then we choose the category. These are the general categories: admin, other, legal, so forth and so on. Once you click on them, it opens up a whole plethora of other categories.
Like if you open up repairs and maintenance, you may have plumbing. You're gonna have supplies and just a multi, whether it's plumbing, electrical, garbage,
Roofing,
all that
yeah.
stuff. So you can it's category. It makes it very specific.
Right. And so each one of these is going to be very specific. And then what you'll see on the transaction screen, which is actually transaction home screen, it will be a list of all of your stuff. You can see I went to the post office, I bought postage stamps, which would be under admin, other, office supplies. And so you just would go in and you would just scan it.
That's our actual stuff as well.
Yeah, that's our actual transaction sheet. And so you can see, our home loans, whatever, all of that stuff would be, you would input it in there, and then you can see it at the end.
Even like the bottom one, you see Caliber, that's our mortgage company. We paying the general escrow payments, then we made the mortgage interest, and then we did the mortgage principal.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, at the end of the year, when you do that report, it automatically comes already separated, and you can just send it right to your
tax accountant
CPA.
or whatever. Yeah.
Are they for Caliber?
Mhm.
Is it, does it interface with Caliber, the company?
You can connect it there. We don't connect our banks and stuff. We just don't. But you can connect it there, so you don't have to worry about it. You can connect your bank accounts here.
All of your mortgage accounts, everything, if you want to.
Yeah, your bank accounts, it'll just pull it up automatically. And then you go in there and categorize it. We don't connect our banks because I just don't want to.
Right.
Not that.
We have it connected to enough places, so we don't put it here too.
Hold on. Kim?
So you just went in and entered escrow, insurance,
Mhm.
mortgage.
Yes.
Right.
Once a month, we just go in and do all of our stuff.
Yeah, once a month, like the 10th to the 15th of the month, we go to the computer. If it's her and my properties or me and my sister's property, I'll bring my niece over so I can pay her. And we'll go through the properties. I pull up all my bank accounts, and we run through you can just match everything up, and we just input it and put in the exact
But yeah, you could automate it by not doing that, by putting it at the bank. Let
Hold
me
on one
get
second.
Chase and come right back.
I just want to ask, how come this instead of like QuickBooks?
But you can't do QuickBooks, but I heard about this on Bigger Pockets and stuff like this. This is very easy for me to use. I'm not really tech savvy and stuff like that, so I don't really know. It's pretty much the same. You can use QuickBooks Some
Right.
people use QuickBooks, some people use this, some people use other things. So whatever you're
Yeah,
comfortable with.
I find this easier than QuickBooks for me personally because it's more user friendly. It's more what do you call it? Accounting for dummies, if you will. Yeah. So for me,
I'm the dummy.
this is just it's just more user friendly. QuickBooks, I did look at that and the whole setup thing. I was like, yeah, no.
Hold on one second.
Yes, yeah.
I'm just curious, why did you break out the escrow from the mortgage?
Because you're gonna have just the principal on itself, and then you got the because it's not all in one.
Right.
When you send it to your CPA, you still got to break down those.
Right,
those
because
things
the
for
escrow is going to be used to pay your insurance and PMI and all that, whatever.
Yeah,
And so
taxes
it's
and
a
insurance.
separate payment that's going to show up.
The important part is at the end of the year.
Right.
Is that
The CPA will be able
mortgage
to understand it. Right.
It's the mortgage interest that's important.
Right.
Because that's what you write off your taxes.
Right.
Right.
The
Yeah.
escrow and all that,
Right.
Yeah, we pull
Yeah.
out the taxes later and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
that's a
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
balance there that the bank does with the.
Right. But yeah, we don't want to lump it all together because we do want that interest to show separately. So when he gets his statement, that's the only thing he needs to look at.
Yes. All right. Sorry, sir.
No, I was just, is that a free program though, right?
It is
Yes.
a free program.
All our apps we talking about today are free.
Okay, thank
However, there is a paid version if you want to do more things than what we're doing. But yes, we are using all the free versions. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
Yep. We are ready for the next slide whenever you are.
All right,
Maybe.
I'm hitting it.
And I don't remember what's on the next one, so I'm depending on you. Unless I get my computer. There we go. All right, so this is the Stessa dashboard, and it does have some pretty cool graphics up there and charts. This is the monthly expense home valuation estimators up there, annual net cash flow, and then a breakdown by expense and category. And I know it's probably hard to see it from where you all are, but if you were to go up there, it gives you some really cool graphics on just where your money is going each month. You can see this one was an acquisition. You can see we're kind of like in the negative here with all the expenses down here. Whereas the other ones you can see now, once we're getting into cash flow, we have a lot less on the bottom and more on the top.
All the green is the income. So yeah, sometimes you may forget to put it in there, but you got to remember, and you'll see it go up and down. But the green is the income. Once it comes up below this line, all these things break it down to what the blue is, the mortgage, and stuff like that. The taxes is the purple. So I like the graph. So it's pretty good.
It's getting better. I can tell. Look at all that green.
Right, yeah, right. That's what I said.
Yeah.
One month we forgot to put the income in, and he said, "Why do we have so much down here?" I says, "I don't know." He said, "We ain't put something in. We got to go back."
Yeah.
So yeah, that he's visual, so that helped him to see we missed something one month and we didn't put somebody's rent payments in or something.
And the good thing about this app also is like if I want to know what I did to Home Depot, I can just pull up Home Depot, and it's gonna pull up everything in Home Depot or whatever category you choose. Or if you just want to look under insurance, or if you want to look at an individual property, or if you want to look at your portfolio as a whole. So you can look. It just allows you to do so many things. Yeah, sort it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort in the little search box.
I'm sorry.
This is free.
I'm gonna repeat this one more time. Every app that we show y'all is free.
For now, you know how Zillow did it. It was free, and then it's like now it's not. So right now this is free, but they do have a page, but we're using this all free. So we get all of this for free.
Now, does this pull from your bank account?
Only if you want to.
Only if you want.
If you connect your bank accounts to it, or if you connect your
count your mortgage accounts to it, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do that, but it will if you want it. If you really want to automate it, you can connect all your accounts, and it will do all this for you. Yep.
Okay.
Anybody?
Next one.
And so
also
Go ahead.
on that same Stessa, it'll show you your cash on cash return and everything for that prop. You can stay on that other one. We didn't show that, but it'll give you a cash on cash return for the property, whatever you choose, each property or anything. So it'll let you know how you're doing for the year and all that as well.
And yeah, so we do use Stessa when we send our tax packet to our accountant. That's what he got was the information out of Stessa. He got our balance sheets, our income statements, our expense statements. All of that came straight out of Stessa and went to him. And we sent it to him for the last year as well.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, this is great, thank you." So apparently it has everything that he needed.
And we don't have to keep a track of receipts. We just do that and throw the receipts in the bucket. But we still have the receipts.
Right.
But we just upload the receipts as well into each category.
Yeah. And so a couple of the smaller apps that we use, and these are actually on the phone, is Adobe Scan. And why we like it, because it makes your documents digital. And then you can scan your documents on location, so you don't have to have a printer available, and it allows you to save and email documents to whoever it is you need to send them to. For instance, if we do a lease signing, we're at the table, I can scan each of the documents as they sign it, and then just upload them to Adobe Scan. And then
as she's doing the lease signing and reading the whole lease, she does it. She does the paperwork. They sign it. They give it to me. I scan, and we do it. Our lease is 11 pages long, and then we got the rules and stuff like that. So as she's doing that, I'll scan it, and then while she's talking to them, I'll put everything together, and I'll just send it to them in an email, because I'm not giving you a paper copy.
Right.
Sign in Adobe
Yes.
now.
Yes. And that's what I was telling him. If you have Adobe, I forgot what it's called, but the reader, you can actually sign the document in there as well. But I use that on my computer, the Adobe, and to sign. But we also have another app, which is Sign Request, that we use to send and sign the documents when they're not with us and present in front of us. So I have that, and I'll send them the document to the email. They'll sign it and they'll send it back.
That was
$10 a month.
Yeah.
But it's close to free.
Adobe now has e-sign also.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So we have not gone over there, so I'm gonna check that out and see.
Adobe e-sign, is
Uh-huh.
that free, or is that
I think that's a paid.
Adobe that you're paying for.
Right, it's a paid subscription. So most of the good signing apps there is a cost for. The free ones, they only give you so many, and then you've got to start again. So I went ahead and paid the $10 because I want to be able to access my documents in my library and be able to go back to them if I need to.
And that
So
was with Sign Request?
that's Sign Request. Mm-hmm.
Janie, you have a question?
Oh, I did. So the only difference I see is that the app that he asked about, QuickBooks, it keeps up with your mileage. Do you have anything that keep up with your mileage?
I think Chris uses Mile IQ. I use paper and pencil on that. I just like to see that. I just don't like using apps on that.
I tried to get him to app. He doesn't like the app because you can.
Like the login.
Yeah, you can put the app, put
But
that
Mile
in
IQ is,
Stessa, but he won't do it.
Mile IQ is something that's that you can track all your things with. So yeah. And
Chase,
Scott-
you have something?
Chase.
So I just want to add, I did find a free electronic signature software.
Okay.
It's called Sign Seal. So Sign,
Seal.
past tense, and then SEAL.
Okay.
And it works pretty much just as well as I do.
Okay. Awesome. We'll
That's
check
good.
it out.
Completely free.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like free.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Save us $10 a month.
Yes. Free is great.
Scott, did you have a question?
You can check that. Chase.
Okay.
DocuSign also does a free one,
Yes.
but you've got to know where you're going to sign. You
Mhm.
can't send it to somebody
Yep.
and say sign the lease. Realtors use it all the time
Yeah, you
because
have to put that
they'll
box.
email me something and it'll tell me, okay, sign here,
Right.
and then it'll jump to the next place to sign, and then it'll jump to the next place to sign. But if you just use the free version, you can sign it.
Right.
It's just that you can't
Direct
say,
it.
okay, I got 5 places in my lease to sign. You can't direct them where to go do it. They got to know. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 15-page lease also. You're signing here. You're initialing here that you ain't bringing a dog. You're initialing here that if you bring a dog, it's $200. You're
Right.
initialing here that you're going to keep the electricity and stuff. I mean, there's a couple places
Right.
that I've got,
Right.
your initial here, if you're so late that I got to go to court, it's going to cost you $200, things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so,
And that's the free version, correct?
that is
Or that's
not-
no, the free version you have
that's
to
the one-
direct
that's
it.
the one where you have
Okay.
the free version, they just got to,
You got to click and go. Okay.
They got to click and go.
Okay. Yeah. But again, so just for everybody, there's ways to do all of this without actually having to leave your house if you can't be somewhere else, which is the great thing. And then I think this is the last thing we had up here was YouTube. And of course, we all know that YouTube is free and it's freely accessible. It's on your phone, it's on your computer, it's on whatever. We like it because we can create virtual home tours on it just using our phone as we walk through our properties. We can record the video, then upload it to YouTube. We put it unlisted so regular people can't just go get it and claim that it's theirs. And then we can actually send a link to people when we are marketing our property, especially during COVID and whatever. You couldn't take people into people's houses and what have you. Like, well, here, I have a video. We can show you what the house looks like inside. And here's Steve's voice walking through the whole house. And so that was actually pretty cool. And people was like, oh, this is really cool. And then, you know, the last sentence is like, oh, it looks just like the video that you sent us. So, you know, it's simple, it's easy. It makes your life just a little bit easier, allows you to market your property without actually being in or on the property. And there's not a fee for it. So
That's it for us.
yeah, that's it. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a lot of great information. Any other questions for Kelly?
Any more questions?
Okay, let me ask you this. So I had 2 houses come up recently. I put them out to rent. What frustrates me in that process is Zillow makes it real easy for people to go, hey, tell me about your house. Hey, tell me about your house. When can I schedule it? So I get all day long. Give me a, you know, when
I'll
can
let
I
you
see
handle
it?
that one.
When can I see it? When can I see it? When can I see it? 20 phone calls. When can I see it? Dude, I put in there, I'm going to be there Monday night from 6 to 7. Come Monday night from 6 to 7. But it's so easy to go, hey, is that available? That
Right.
I don't know how to simplify that piece. What do you guys do?
Well, in my notes section on my phone, I have my criteria, and also I have 11 pre-screening questions. I just copy and paste. It's 11 questions. You're not going to answer these. Most 95% of the people won't answer those questions.
And you never
So
hear from
I
again.
never have to worry about them. So it's copy and paste, copy and paste.
Yeah.
When they text you, is this available?
You send them the questions.
Yeah, how much
11
money-
questions.
What's your annual income? Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We send all 11
All
questions.
that is in the 11 questions. Your income, if you have a pet, why are you moving? All those questions, 11 questions are going to tell me why you're moving and why you, and tell me why would you be a good fit in my property?
Right. Yeah.
And I never hear from 95% of the people. So
They-
now
they'll
I have to
say
deal with
anyway.
5%.
Right.
And then if they ask another question, if we begin a conversation, because I don't have to have a conversation with you now. 3 years ago, I had to have a conversation because it was more competition. Now I don't have to have a conversation. I'm in control. So I send those 11 questions. I don't need conversation. I just need the answers to my questions. And then we begin a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to converse with everybody. Yeah, it's a lot of people. And then in my notes section on my phone, I got my criteria. I send the criteria if they want it, or I may attach it to whatever. And if you don't meet my criteria, well, you don't really need to keep conversing. But if you do, we good. We go to the next level. I'm not showing my property to everybody. I'll send you the link. I'll send you this. If I have somebody in there, they may not want people in there. But if I do, I'm going to be at the property at this time. But if you don't pass my pre-screening questions, you don't need to see the property.
Yeah.
So-
And I do the pre-screening at the property. I basically just say, hey,
Yep.
you want to see it? I'm going to be there Monday
Nope.
from 6 to 7. Show up.
Yeah, no, you don't
Right.
even get
Then
to
I
see it
do
if you don't
my-
answer the
then I do
questions.
my 11 questions before you ever get the application.
Right.
But it's like, oh my God,
Yep.
man, come on. I said I will be there from, when can I see it?
Right.
Yeah, you can never see it.
When I fill my Zillow box, I put the response I want to the first person, so whatever I wanted to say, and then I copy.
Yep, paste, copy and paste. Yep, all day.
So
Yeah.
everybody
I gotta look, see how
can
easy that is. 'Cause
Oh, it's very
I
easy.
know it's easy because I do this. I kind of do the same thing, but my response instead of 11 questions is, I'm gonna be there Monday from 6 to
Nope.
7. So you call me, hey, when can I see it? Monday 6 to 7, like it says.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Hey, when can I
I
see
do
it?
a
Monday
time.
6 to 7.
Yeah.
Two
Ex-
times, so it's just
Yeah.
in my automated response, in my copy paste it, I'm gonna be here Sunday 12 to 2 and Monday 6 to 8. Bring your ID, your $25 application fee, your pay stubs, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. This, no pets, or pets, or I like answer everything that I know they're gonna ask me and copy and paste.
Yeah.
Yep, makes it easy. Like I said, the bars don't even get past the pre-screening. We don't even talk to them anymore. Like,
Yeah. If you guys have questions that you guys want to ask us separately afterwards, feel free to come
thank
to us.
you. They're comfortable.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question. That's a good question.
Take it easy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys wanna watch me do this?
There you go.
You guys will watch me do this in real time here. All right, where we at? Where we at? What am I doing? What am I doing? Man, this is gonna make it hard on me. There we go. Check it out. How'd I do that? All right. So how do I get this to go into the?
Where's that?
That's you, right?
Yeah. PDF there, so.
All right.
What's the arrows up the top there?
That's what I'm looking for there.
Oh, there's the arrows on the bottom as well.
Okay, that's not the one I want. Why am I showing that?
On the bottom, there's 6 pages.
Yeah, okay, so what I'm trying to do is get it to go to full screen. Let's just go with this. This will work. You good?
All right. I don't know which one I got here.
You got the one that's on, I think. Here, no. Here, no, I got it. I got it. Keep doing your thing.
All right. Good evening. Again, my name is Scott Benevenia. I've been flipping now for, I don't know, almost 9 years now. Brought a couple of screenshots of some apps that I use. I've tried MileIQ. I had some success with that, but these two that I brought today or showing today, you can go to the next slide.
Maybe.
No, on the bottom. If you go to the, it did show like 1 through 6
I know,
before.
it was just there a second ago. Let me try this. Let me go down arrow. Let me go with the down arrow, the up arrow. Okay. Why is it doing this? All right, that's there. You know what I'm gonna do? You keep talking.
All right.
That's not gonna work either because I only have one screen.
That's okay. The first app I use is called Hours Tracker. The way I like to use it, it allows you to set up multiple properties in the application. And whenever you drive within a certain distance of the house, it'll log you in saying, okay, you've arrived at the job site at this time. It'll keep track of your time while you're there. You can put in breaks. You can put in, what's your hourly rate, either for yourself or for a crew. Yeah, there you go. It's called Hours Tracker.
It's got a pig on it.
It's got a little pig on it.
Pig with a clock. It's a blue.
It's right. I said, so it'll keep track of things like time you spend on the job site, and that's triggered by your phone's GPS. You can put in an hourly rate, so that keeps track of how many dollars you've earned at each visit. Retains notes, so there's a little note section. You can just type in what you did while you were there. And it also eventually allows you to print out, or not even print out, it'll export that information in a Excel or CSV format that you can import now into another app. Next slide. So these are just some screenshots of what the app looks like. I said the first screen is primarily just a list of the job sites you have. And I just put them in by address. And then for each address that you have, it allows you to draw a radius either around that address or around some other address if you want. And you can shrink or expand the size of the radius if you want. So this was really nice, especially on a recent job where I was going from job to job to job. And rather than me having to write down every time I went in and out, every time I either go into that circle or come out of that circle, it just logs me either in or departing from that job site. Next slide. So for each time I go to the job site, I said it'll keep track of the date, the time in, the time out, the duration, If I put in a dollar value, essentially how many dollars go with that. And then there's a short note area where I can put in notes of,
What you did.
what I did. I demoed the wall, fixed the plumbing, put it back together, whatever. And then at the end, well, you can do it at any time, but you can also just take all this information, it exports it out to a spreadsheet, and I keep another whole separate spreadsheet of all the tasks that I do and do other analysis from there.
Is there
So-
a way to share that with like a contractor? If they're willing to do that, or they bill you the hours through that and share it?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer. There is a paid version. I just used the free version, but I haven't tried the paid version. So
They could use it and send you that showing their time sheet, basically.
I would think that would be a good way to do it too.
they could do that.
I have 2 contractors using it right now that are doing lighthouse.
And you can see when they're on the job.
Well, they're just keeping track. I trust them. I mean, they're guys that I work with all the time. So, I don't know if you could do that. Might be something to look into on that. But
Yeah, I would think that if you pop into the box.
Yeah.
I know there was a paid version, and I initially paid for it the first year, and I said I never used any of the other features other than keeping track of it. It's a very simple app. It hasn't really changed, or at least the free version hasn't changed in 7-8 years. So I always hate those apps that change every week or every month. You got to keep logging into. This one is just simple and it just works. So
It's nice too that it logs you in, because that's my fault. My problem when I go to a house to work on it, I forget to clock in, or I'm trying to keep track of my time and I forget about it. Well, this pops up. You want to clock in, and then when you leave, it says you want to clock out. That way, because half the time you'll forget I left at what time did I leave?
Yep.
So that's the nice thing about it, and it'll pop up when you say yes. It'll pop up, like he said, the notes, to put on the notes what you did.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. It's really.
a lot of times what I would do is just as I'm getting ready to leave, I'll just sit in my car for a minute and just type out, just like you do on a text, you just type out the notes, say, hey, here's all the things I did today. And then it all gets exported out. And it does have other features. You can assign tags to it. So if you want to put down, plumbing work or electrical work or, this is.
It has a note section more or less that you put where.
It has notes, but then it also has additional columns for, it has tags, so you can make custom tags for it. It can do searches, so you can search for different things. It says it tracks mileage, but I've never seen it actually track mileage, so I'm not worried about that. Okay. So that's my first app. Again, not very sophisticated, but it's just a simple way to keep track of how much time you spend on it. Next slide. This is one actually that I've used for years, Slack. I always thought this was an answer looking for a problem. With this app, actually, Thomas used it with our last job that we had worked on. This was fantastic for not only keeping track of our job sites, it allows you to post pictures, videos, notes of any work that you completed. We posted files and other hyperlinks in the app itself as well. Allows you to search for information, and it can be accessed from your phone, computer, or whatever.
So what is that? It's a little hard to explain, isn't it?
It's a messaging type platform,
Yeah.
but you can add on pretty much anything to it. My accountant uses it, so everything my accountant, I'd send to my accountant, goes straight in that app. They talk to me on it. They send messages to me. You can do it for every job. Now there is a cost on it. I think you have 1 or 2 people you can add to it as far as users, but when you start adding, like where I added us more people on it, it's $5 a month extra or something per person, or $4 a month extra per person. Because I think I have 5 on mine right now, 5 or 6.
So
But,
You can put, say, maybe 4 people on there and that's for free.
yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember the number
No, I
that you can
understand.
put on there. I know it's at least 2.
Yeah.
It's free. I think 2 to 3 is free.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, there is a cost for the app. I know I've used this in the past in other settings. I've used this for software development. I've used this for scientific experiments, and it seemed like it was overkill. But when I had multiple jobs with multiple people working all at different schedules, it was the greatest thing ever. And I'll show you in the next slide here.
It's a communications platform that allows you to text each other while you're sharing files in that text thread, so that so you don't get a bunch of picture text, picture text. It's not linear, it's more dynamic.
Yes.
Is that how, would that be a good description of it?
Channel. You're absolutely right. It's a
Right.
Yeah.
channel, basically.
And project management. So you got
Yeah.
different projects that you're working with, and in each project, you've got different people you're communicating with in different ways.
It's
And it-
similar to Mondays.
Yeah, it is. And it separates things out. Like if you're having 3 or 4 houses going on at one time, you have them individually. He may have that on there.
Yeah.
So you can, if you're talking about this as a message for this property, you know, it's instead of if you're working with a group of people, you're texting back and forth, but then they're trying to figure out what project it is. In this, you're talking in the project.
Your thread is
Right.
the
Yeah, well,
project.
you can see theirs right there.
So that's what we had done for, in this case, we had 3 separate properties. So we listed the address for each property. So you could have one person go in and say, hey, I heard some water, leaking. So I turned the water off. The next person, whenever he or she gets there, that says, okay, I tested it. I saw it was coming from here. I opened up the wall. It's time to do the fix. The next guy comes by and says, okay, I see the wall was open. I went ahead, repaired the pipe, retested it later. It was doing okay, and then you're done for that day. The next person comes by. It's just an excellent way to say, what was done in the last part of the job. You can post photos, you can post individual files or videos even. So it's a way to make sure that you're not redoing something else that somebody else had done. In this particular picture, we had been going through a thread where we had to replace the hot water heater up in the attic. But in order to get the hot water heater up in the attic, we had to know when the plumber was coming, how big was the water heater, was it going to fit through the attic stairs? So we had to, there's a whole sequence of steps that had to happen. Is we had to, in this case, we measured the opening and how big it was and what's the information from the plumber. And this was literally probably about the only way we could have gotten all that done in a short amount of time that we needed to do between when the contract was signed and in closing. So I said, this made a true believer out of me, just having the ability to have, like you said, the channels for each different property. We also had a separate channel for all the invoices. So anytime any one of us bought something, you just upload the invoice to there. You can have a picture of it or a PDF file, whatever. And this way, all those invoices are in one place. You can go back and refer to it or download it if you wish.
You could add a lot of people. You could add your title company into, if it's a project on it, you could add the attorney into it. You could add everybody that is in that project if you want to. I know other contractors and other investors that all of their accountants in it, which my accountant's on this one. But it's in the same app. It doesn't cost any more to add different properties or that. It's just per person.
Okay.
Is where it's the additional.
So does everybody sees everybody else's comments, or are you able to segregate?
No, you can put like certain people on certain things. Like if you have, you can have one contractor that's working on 123 Main Street, and he only has access to that one.
Yeah, that's what's good about it. You can
Yeah.
separating out all your projects. You might be one guy in all 3 of them. But in one of them, I'm just talking to these two, and in the other one, I'm talking to these two.
Like on mine, you would have my accountant only sees my account stuff and me, and then the jobs, only the people in those jobs that I select or whoever owns that app selects the people that can go to the different channels.
So like within the same project, if I didn't want my accountant to see what's going on with the construction, because they don't need to see it. for example,
Right.
I can, within the same project, I can still segregate that.
Yeah, you could take on and off, I think, any person at any point.
It comes down to essentially how you set up your channels. So you can set up your channels to be however granular you need to. The other thing this does, and I haven't used this yet, but I have another business partner in Florida. It was always a pain in the neck sending information back and forth with her, so that would be tough to do. My wife physically is also out of state, so she does a lot of the bookkeeping for me. Again, rather than me uploading and downloading stuff, if I just load it into here, she can pull it at any time. It doesn't even have to be, I don't even have to tell her, yeah, I uploaded something. It's just always there at any time. So it allows you to work, I said, allows you to work asynchronously, especially with multiple partners and even people that are not in the area. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I had a couple things, that I was thinking about as I was, kind of planning through tonight. So I just started kind of brainstorming in places where technology might help us. So we talked about advertising, rentals, and flips. Well, rentals, managing rentals, scheduling showings, managing money and expenses. These are all places that I think we can do it. What else we got? Anybody else using anything that kind of didn't pop up you want to talk about? What do you got?
Want me to talk about PropStream for a second?
Yeah, if you want to talk about PropStream, you told me you weren't going to be here, but yeah, okay, come on, man.
I'm meeting my accountant next week, and there's so much paperwork to go through. But so yeah, I use PropStream, and despite my age, I'm not like super tech savvy. This was really helpful tonight to learn some of the different strategies and stuff for like just using these technologies. But PropStream has a good feature where I mainly use it on my computer, but if I'm going down the road, I see a property I could pull it up. And the app's a little buggy actually. I don't know if you experience it. You gotta kill the app and then go back in. But it's got a little search by location function. And so it's got a search by location function. And when you do it that way, you can kind of just like on Google Maps, zoom in and drop your finger there to select it. Yep. And then for me, if I'm going down the road and I saw a property, I don't know the address to that property. I've already passed it. I just know it's next to that side street where I saw a large warehouse. And then that's my little landmark to find that property. And then you can hit a heart. There's a little heart on it. You just hit that. It'll save it to your mobile favorites. And then you can categorize those mobile favorites later. But it's really good for pulling lists. PropStream, once you're at your computer, you can draw a certain area. And the draw function's also kind of weird. It's not you can just draw it only in straight lines, but you figure it out. And then you can change your filters absentee owner, vacant, people that have owned it for 10 years or longer or 10 years or less. And you can really dial it in a certain way. And then once you're done, you just select that whole list you just made. And then you can save it to your PropStream list section. And just call it absentee owner, 10 years or longer ownership, Hampton Roads. And then you can export that and you can use that for marketing. So. It does. I personally I don't think I've used their direct mail. I looked at it. It didn't really seem interesting to me. Who have I used for direct mail? There was a CRM called RealFlow, realeflow.com. And their direct mail was pretty cheap per card. but if you pay $100 to be on it, it probably washes out some of your savings. But I was using that. And then there's another CRM called Recent. Good point. Customer Relationship Management System. So there's RealFlow, there's Resimply. Resimply was another one. They've actually got really good direct mail. Really good. I did letters through RealFlow one time called Personally Penned, where it's written by robots, like by hand with a pen. Sounds great, but every letter looks the same. So like every E is going to look the same. Every A is going to look the same. And the 8s looked weird. There's an 8 in my phone number. It almost looked like a 9. It like didn't. So I was really nervous. So I called up 757-903-9452. I was like, hey, let me know if you get any phone calls. Of course, they never would. But so there's a few there. Anyone else have softwares they want to share? You got one? This is just for the live stream.
You have a software called RentCast where you can check rental rates all around the country for free. I know some people might be paying for Rental Meter. I don't know how much you're paying for Rental Meter, but RentCast is very accurate. I've actually used it on my address, and it's pretty accurate to what a realtor's given me before, what rent could go for in that area. So rentcast.com to check rental rates for free. RENTCAST.com. Yeah. So it's gonna pull it up like cut. It's similar to Rental Meter, but it's free, so you don't have to pay for a plan or anything. Yeah. Oh.
I know Andy's got some. No, I'm kind of old school.
I can tell you all about it already.
Yeah, man. All right.
Does anybody have software that'll read and take a receipt?
Yes.
And convert that to?
Yes.
Thank you, Scanner.
Text. You can snap a photo, scan it, you can email it in, you can take 1,000 files, drop it in there, and they'll say, this is Home Depot, the receipts for $8.95. And the only thing you have to do is just pick the schedule category, and I can generate an Excel spreadsheet for that, that I can put in tables. Text, it's like $25 a month. Yeah.
Like DEXT.
Text, it used to be Receipt Bank.
Somebody convert to a PDF. Scott.
No, I want to convert from a picture or a PDF to an Excel sheet or
Is that you got a HDMI what I'd like to do, I can give you. See, that's where I don't really have the ability to. All right. So hang on a second.
A link or something? Just go to dex.com. Then I'm going to bring up the web browser.
I can do that here in a minute, but right now I'm not bringing. My share screen is not showing up there. So what I've got is I got to figure out why this is not. All right. Okay, so let me just do this here. All right. All right, what am I doing here? First thing I'm going to do, let me just get rid of this. Okay, we're going to do a couple more things that we've got. I'm having a hard time figuring out my technology again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off the stream, and we're just going to kind of bang through a couple things on the screen. So if you're watching from home, which I think there's one person, thanks for coming. Actually, there's nobody right now. So thanks for coming. We're going to stop.